Philosophy Non No Non, The Crashed Course. Tuesday, October 29, 2024. The typical huckster of philosophy claim that if you ask certain questions, you're a budding philosopher. Really? Anybody who asks obvious questions but are too stupid to answer them, is a philosopher, or budding philosopher. Ain't that real democratic and sociable? In Thailand, there is a lizard who has a 2-word vocabulary. Really, I did not believe it until I caught one. The lizard was named after the 2 words it could speak. For Q, it would say, in a long drawn-out phrase. I recently figured out that the lizard was asking a question, just like you are asked, every time you are approached by a simple-minded huckster: are you gullible? Or are you just full of guile? So how is it that when one is too stupid to know what they are, why they are, nor do they know how to do their own work, is someone special? So special, in fact, that they now have their own Olympic Games, called philosophy? If you are a victim of this social norm of hucksterism, then you are too stupid to ever even know how to define philosophy and a philosopher, much less have any bragging rights of being able to use that word correctly. A philosopher is someone who is intelligent enough to know what they are, why they are, and spend their life learning how to do their own work. The craft of a philosopher, as Plato explicitly stated, is dialectic, speech in accordance with the 2 parts of a thing, proven today by the computer. All information processing is done, even as intimated by the text of the Judeo-Christian scripture, as binary recursion. A normal person is too stupid to study it. Instead they join a cult of parrots, claiming to be what they provably are not: intelligent. Very few people have ever been born smart enough to figure out what philosophy is, and therefore, it has never been part of social education. Social education using the word philosophy has always been a part of the environment of the very stupid mass man. You can fool an idiot into believing that you can be taught philosophy, when in fact, as Plato noted, the only way you will ever know philosophy is by recollection, that is, derived from the memory of problems you have had the wit to actually solve for yourself. Philosophy cannot be taught, one can only be shown its methodology, a methodology of learning how, as Plato noted, to ask and answer questions. So yes, if you cannot answer a question correctly, you are not a budding anything at all, you are simply a fool. Fools always need someone to flatter them to make them feel good in their own ignorance, and they are gullible enough to pay for it, often dearly. So, what does dialectic, binary information processing, have to do with survival of the fit? What is the only thing a mind can actually do? A mind is potentially the most powerful life support system possible for a form of life. A mind is blind. All it can do is to read the data streams presented to it by the other life support systems of the body. This is called perception. It then processes those perceptions in order to formulate an answer to how to regulate the body's behavioral response to the environment, which is called conception. The processing of information is the ability to parse that information and order those parsed products to one's advantage, which means in accordance with the truth of things. It then writes back to the body the results of its judgments, producing our own human behavior. These events have been given a host of names: psychology, philosophy, rationality, prophecy, etc. The Bible puts this sequence into a puzzle which spans the whole book. What is the name of the beast? 666. The solution to that problem is then given in the book itself. If one has the wit to solve it, the solution is provably to regulate behavior so as to turn the past into a future and to bring that future to pass. Put into another metaphor, explicitly, the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. In other words, your own spirit. How well can you predict the results of your own behavior? What the mind shuts out, no one will open. What is open to a mind, no one shall shut out. The mind is, like every other life support system, a shutter, a regulator of behavior. In short, the mind functions by parsing information to its advantage. in other words, the working mind, a mind doing its own work. The work of a mind is information processing for survival, as both the Bible and Plato note, not to mention your own obvious biology. If you do not understand your own function as part of a body whole, are you capable of understanding anything? Are you capable of doing your own work, the very work stated both at the beginning of the book, and as the foundation of all science? Tending the whole garden of life? What is information processing? Have you ever even realized that all information processing is afforded by binary recursion? If you cannot do that, you surely are just another part of the philosophy Olympics passed down from generation to generation by the Dakores. What may be predicated of anything is wholly determined by the definition of that thing. If you are something, then, you are defined by the only job a mind can do. If you cannot do the job, you are, as written in the Bible, just another part of the living dead. Your body may be alive, but you have not awakened to join that group. You certainly are not born again. If you are born again, then prove that you are literate and not just another self-flattering fool. By biological fact, a mind is a learning organ of the body. It even has to learn, as its foundation, how to use grammar in accordance, as Confucius noted, with the truth of things. A thing is a binary construct, as Plato noted, of a relative, verb, contained by correlatives, that is, nouns. Or in geometry, a line and points. Or in the computer, electricity passed by off and on, traditionally called assertion and denial. Compare that today, by the quantum quacks who claim that there is a third man who is both, at the same time, and in relation to the same thing. I cannot possibly claim that a noun is a verb, or that off is really on. Are you really intelligent if you cannot master two simple concepts? Really? Well, ain't you special? I knew a lizard that could speak 2 words, yet I have never met a human who could solve a 2-part puzzle. Evolution, or what many call God, is producing a species capable of dominating the environment. Domination is not a fool stomping on a pile of shit and congratulating itself for a job well done. Not even Cheech and Chong admitted that one. We are evolving to master all information processing, that is, to engrave images, and we shall not bow down to any of these products, in subjugation of any particular product, as our master, as written, for we are, by biological fact, truly becoming a life support system called man. Our given method is literacy, which affords us perfect judgment. A philosopher learns, uses and teaches only this, as Plato noted, the only job a mind can do. Relation to self is inadmissible. Hucksters are damned.
False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the mind with evil. Phaedo by Plato,